We're all getting older, aren't we? Even if we were just born, we're getting older. But that's absolutely fine. Even if you're like me, who's in old age and you've got aches and pains and physical problems and health problems that kind of limits the length of time you're going to be here, it's absolutely fine. Our early to mid years are spent growing stronger and learning and getting more experience that we'll need as we get into our mid years and we start families and we start getting more responsibilities and life starts getting more complicated. We need all that. And even in mid years, when we get to about 50, many of us can still compete in the sports that we took up when we were younger, even though we may not bounce as much when we fall, and we may make that involuntary groaning noise when we get up and our old bones protest a little bit. But we're still fine. It's all good. We've got decades ahead of us. Then we wake up one morning and we're old. But we only wake up if we're actually privileged enough to get into old age, because many people don't. So it's a great privilege to be an old folk. Don't expect too much from your old body. You're going to get aches and pains. Don't think about it too much. Just accept it. Just accept it, part of your body. All those experiences you had in the past, all that fun, all those games you played as kids, all those bangs and knocks, all those days you went out playing in the snow and your mum told you to cover up because you'll suffer for it later on in life, and now you're suffering for it later in life, but that's fine, because it's just like a book. It's your body telling you, reminding you of the story, of that great story of your life, and how privileged you are to reach old age. It's a great place to be, even though a lot of the time we just don't realise it. Every moment of regret is a moment wasted when that sand is running out through the hourglass. It's time to fill every moment with something pleasing, something rewarding, something you can actually do as your mobility decreases. If you're old and you want to do something, do it. If you want to become a pain in the arse to your family, do it. They expect it. Our forebears have always become a pain in the arse to our families. It's part of the enjoyment. If you want to say something, say it. You've earned the right. And you can still enjoy it. I'm proof of that. I'm loving my life. And I'm an old croc. And it's great, because as an old croc I have the privilege of still being able to do things that I used to do, but at a slower rate, a slower pace. But that doesn't matter, because I actually want to do that at a slower pace. So I don't see that as a disadvantage, but I also have the advantage of being able to be a pain in the arse to society. You've earned that right. Use it. Sit in the sun and reminisce. But like I said in a recent video, just constantly, if you're going to look back on the good times. Don't dwell on the bad times, because there's nothing you can do. There's no point crying over spilt milk. Just enjoy the memories, like little tiny film clips, pictures in a scrapbook, short stories. Fill your life with hobbies. Many of you will know how important hobbies are to me. I've done one, I've probably done 2 videos about it, and I will do more, because I believe hobbies are the thing that keep you going. Hobbies are the thing that keep your mind going, and hobbies are the thing that keep you dexterous and keep your fingers going and keep your muscle memory going. They are so important. I cannot put enough emphasis on it. I shall do another video shoving it all down your throats, because I think it's important. And some of you aren't listening, but I'm sure you am. Well, we've just gone into some dark woodland here, We're in a different spot today, over the top of a small reservoir. Only a small one, with some ducks, oh lots and lots of ducks on it. And we're on a muddy path. All the leaves have fallen. The trees are getting quite bare now. And it's beautiful. And it's beautiful to be alive. And Molly thinks so too. So spend every day smiling. Treat every day as though it may be your last. Because it may be, and that just doesn't go for us oldies, you know. That goes for everyone. It's incumbent on everyone to spend every day as if it were the last. Because it could well be. And you don't want to look down from up there and think, well, I only got one crack at that and I made a bit of a mess of it. Can I have another go? Because the answer, I'm afraid, will always be no. And if old age has brought aches and pains and disabilities and life is getting you down, have a gin and tonic. You'll get over it. Look out of the window. Take a walk if you can. If you can't, get one of these younger generation. They've got nothing better to do. Let them take you out into the countryside. Buy you a nice lunch. Look at it. We got out of the car and there were quite a few people about, but I know this little route that nobody goes down because it's usually muddy. But what people don't realise is that over the last couple of years, United Utilities, who actually look after this area of land, have put in boards over the boggy bits. Little bridges, little walkways. We're coming up to one now. These weren't here a couple of years ago and it was incredibly muddy and boggy. But now, we've got things like this. A walkway across the muddy bit. And it's great. It's a bit of a climb up for Molly, a bit of a climb up for me with my little old legs. The moss on the dry stone walls, beautiful and verdant and whoa. All the bracken's dying off now. We're coming to the edge of our little bridge. And we're going to carry on with our walk. So just remember, as you're getting older, don't see it as a handicap. Don't see it as something to hold you back. Yes, you will slow up. Your body will slow up. Your mind doesn't have to slow up. There are so many things you can do to keep yourself sharp. Physically, do what you can. We can all, I'm a great believer in pushing boundaries. So even if you can't do much, do as much as you can. You can then justify, you can say, I've not done something because I don't think I can do it, so I'll never know whether I could have done it or not. Push yourself so that at the end of the day you can say, well, I did what I could and I enjoyed it. I do it. I can't climb the fells anymore. I go on walks like this, and by the end of it, my right hip is bloody killing me because I think I need a new hip. Ooh, I nearly fell then. And I wouldn't have bounced if I had fallen. I would have gone down, thud, and I would have looked round to make sure nobody was watching me. Then I would have laid there for another 5 minutes before I'd hoisted myself up with great difficulty. Because I'm getting old. Because I am old. But I'm doing as much as I can. So we're going to actually end this, because if I talk into my camera and not look where I'm going, I will probably end up in accident and emergency with a broken hip. Going on some trees now. Lower the camera. Very wet, boggy spot here. But it's great. It's fine. It's fab. It's nature. I'm enjoying every minute of it. And it's familiar because we've been out here, and it's like I've always said in the past, each day is different. Each day in the countryside is different because you've got a different sky. You may have a breeze one day and not the next day. You might have a high wind one day. You might have rain, sleet, snow, sunshine, warmth, cold. Every day is unique. So remember that when you wake up in the morning and you stretch your arms out and you can't feel wood hemming you in, just think, that's another fresh day that I can just go out and be in the world and enjoy it. And I didn't fall coming down that slope, but now we're going to carry on. So have a good day. We shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.